RLC, we're on the move. Join Pastor Jay and the rest of RLC family as we worship with the Heart of Faith Church on Sunday, March the 6th at 5:30 p.m. Everyone's invited. Hope to see you there.
Here's this week's RLC announcements.
This Wednesday, join Pastor Jay and some very special guests for a Bible study entitled The Battle of the Sexes. This is a Wednesday night that you don't want to miss. Tune in exactly at 7 p.m. this Wednesday night. Hey family, each and every first Sunday, we reserve a spot for you and your entire family. We're calling it Family Sunday. Each and every first Sunday, invite everybody, wake the whole entire house up and bring them to church. Why? Because first Sunday is for family at RLC.
It is finally here. Yes, Bam Travis, winner of Bethany's Battle for Family, has released his first music video. Produced by the legendary Fred Hammond, I got to co-host Bethany's first ever Battle for Family, an event designed to raise money and awareness for children and teens in foster care. This incredible event also gave many music artists a platform to showcase their talents. More than 20,000 votes were cast, and 10 fantastic finalists were selected to participate in the live event. Now, my friend Fred Hammond and I judged the finalists and picked one winner, and that winner was Bam Travis, one of the most soulful musical geniuses of our time. Bam also won a chance to film a music video in Fred Hammond's studio. I'm so excited for you all to watch the release of Compromise.
To our Bible study tonight. We decided to do something a little different, and tonight I've asked for a few people to come by and to have this conversation with us. Earlier this year, we brought the ladies together, and they shared their perspective. And then a few weeks ago, we had man cave conversations, and those perspectives were shared. And now we're going to bring both perspectives together so that we can discuss what we have going on. Before we do that, I want to make sure that each of you know this is your time right now to share this conversation. We're going to have some great conversation, and I'm going to try to look in later on during our conversation tonight to get some of your comments, and we'll deal with those together as well. But before we do that, of course, as always, we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to bless the Lord in the area of your giving. So I'm asking you right now at the top of our Bible class, as we do every week, that you would take this time out to be generous and to prayerfully consider what you will offer to the Lord on this week. Cash App, of course, is $RLC Movement. Then, of course, you have an opportunity to go directly to our website, rlcdetroit.com, and you can bless the Lord there. Or you can go to our Text to Give platform, and you can do it that way. We are a tithing church, and we're excited about every opportunity that we have to be a blessing to the body of Christ. So I'm asking you to do that right now, and we're going to pray over our offering, and we're going to pray over our service today. Let's look to the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you right now because you are awesome, because you are mighty, because you are wonderful. And we thank you, Lord, for this opportunity tonight, Lord, to sow and to invest into your kingdom. We thank you, Lord, that you have given us an opportunity to be a body of believers who believe your word so much that we dare to trust you in the area of our tithing. I pray, Father, that on this Wednesday, the first Wednesday in March, that you would bless someone right now, Father, that you would remind them and confirm that you are there with them and that there shall be no lack in their homes because they choose to trust you, not just in the convenient areas, but in every area of their life, they choose to trust you. I pray, Father, for those who are considering war at this very moment, those in Ukraine. I pray, Father, even for those in Russia, God, that they would have a change of heart. I pray, Father, that you will resolve this peacefully in the name of Jesus. But, Father, I pray right now that you would cover. We plead the blood of Jesus upon every life that is streaming today, every life that is represented in this room. And, Lord, we know, God, that you are omnipresent. So we know that you're in Russia. We know that you are in Ukraine. We know that you are everywhere at the same time. So, Lord, bless your people. Protect your people. Encourage your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank God. And all of God's people said amen. All right. We're going to prepare for, I want you guys to check out a clip today. And it's a great clip that I think will do great with us starting our conversation tonight. It's a wonderful clip, and I want you guys to check it out. And we're ready for it right now.
Which I would say
you don't think females are forward enough?
Say again?
You don't think females are forward enough?
I don't think I don't think Christian men or women are forward enough.
I disagree. I disagree.
I got a bunch of people at Union Church that are
How much more forward do you want us to be?
Say again?
How much more forward do you want us to be? Do you want it to be like Ruth at Boaz's bedside type of forward? Like, hello, I'm
Whoa. Wait up. Hey.
What is this?
There's levels to be.
Well, no. But you just brought up Bible. Ruth was single. And her mother-in-law said, if you want to find a man, go to where he is, but not just where he is. Put yourself in a position where it is so obvious to him, if you down, I'm down. So you brought the Bible into it, but Ruth was super forward. You said it as if Ruth was too forward. Somebody said she was? Who said she was?
Wow.
But here's the thing.
Wow.
Ruth married the billionaire in town.
All right. Perfect way to start off. We're going to get to introductions in a second, but I don't want to miss this moment. Let's just start there. Do we think women should be forward in dating?
I don't think so. I don't think it's they don't have a reason to be. When it comes to finding a spouse, God gave the equipment to the man to find the wife. And he just said, be in preparation to be caught. So with us, as men, our birthright is literally, we're predators. We're chasers. This is what we do. When you want a woman to come do all the work and come chasing, you're not living in your birthright. This is not what God called women to do. He gave us the equipment to go out and search. For women, he just wants y'all to be prepared, be ready to be a wife. And then when it's your time, your predator will come and catch you.
Anybody?
Well, I agree. I do think that there's nothing wrong with a woman putting herself in a position. If you want a certain kind of man, go to where he is, appear the way that you're supposed to. If you want to catch him, like if the man is supposed to be doing the choosing, I don't think it's wrong for a woman to prepare to be chose, if that makes sense.
Well, I think first we need to define forward. What is being forward? Is it smiling at somebody? Because now, being a man, you can hardly say hi to a woman without it being mistaken for something else. So what is being forward? What is being too forward? If she smiles at you, is that being too forward? But if she's walking around looking like she's been eating prunes and lemonade all day, so what is that? So I think we just kind of need to get some clear definitions as to what that actually means when they say being forward. And what's lost in the whole story of Boaz is that Ruth was working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the Bible says he saw her. She was working. She wasn't sitting and waiting. She was actually working.
Now, here's the thing, though. Her work is what got his attention.
Exactly.
Right. But when he chose her, it was because she went and laid at his feet. And that's the part that they're talking about. So the question is, was she too forward by going? He woke up and she was right there at his feet. That's what the story of Ruth says, right? Was she too forward? And to the ladies who are on the stage, how forward are you willing to be? Before I want to deal with your question, or with your statement. Can we define forwardness? Because for some people, I agree with you. Are you forward or are you desperate? And I think there is a difference between being desperate and being forward. So how forward are you willing to be? Shamari?
For me, not that forward. Probably the most forward. The most forward I'll be is I'll probably like a picture of something you post like on your IG stories, but that's like my version.
You do one picture or you do 3 so that he knows?
I'll do like one like.
And then he come back and like 3 more.
Like one like IG story.
I do
like
3
reaction.
of them.
That's
boom,
it.
boom.
A reaction.
I'm gone. The three, boom, 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 I'm gone.
That's it? So that's a real thing?
Yeah.
Like, y'all got to like each other's pics, and then somebody will then say, okay,
That's
let
how
me
you
talk
get
to
it.
you.
That's
And I
how
ain't
you
even
get
going
it
to follow
started.
you either.
That's how you get it started. That's literally how you show interest. You like, you go on your notifications and you got the same person like about 5 of your pics. You gonna think something up with that. That's
See,
not
now
excessive.
that's the line.
not.
That's desperate. I'm playing.
I think 5 is too much.
5 is,
So
the
what,
only
3
way I
is
was
good
like,
and
I don't
5
even think
is
I was
not?
like 5. If he
So
came
two-
on my page and like 5, I might go like 3.
So 2 extra
But
pics.
you 2 extra, so I see you. But back to the thing of like too forward, a lot of my female friends are getting married. And all of them slid in their man's DMs first. They shot their shot first. So that's why I was like, I don't really know. That might be a new thing because I hear a lot of men say that like they don't like rejection, so they want to make sure that the woman is interested first before they make their move. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, y'all could clarify.
It's not that we just want to know that you're interested. Like I said, you should peacock. Every woman should go what I call peacocking. Peacocking is literally they have the beautiful feathers and all of that stuff. So show a man that you like what he's getting, but don't put yourself in a position where you're doing what he's supposed to do. So you show him, hey, I like you. This is me in this dress. You see it. I'm sitting on the front row at church. You know what's going on. But don't put yourself in a position to be, in my opinion, what is forward is when a woman starts to be a man in the chase. That's too much. It's way too much.
So what about the DM? If she just sends you the initial DM, do you consider that too much? Is that too forward?
No, it's a conversation. Ain't nothing wrong with a little conversation.
I think that's too forward because then I feel
you
like
said you
the
like
woman.
do the reaction.
Well, it's not just a reaction, but I won't actually slide in the DM and be like, "Hey, like, take me on a date." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the conversation is.
So what's wrong with saying like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?"
But
then I feel like the woman has to lead the conversation. Like the woman, it's on her to then, like, be the initiator.
A real predator is not going to let you lead.
Because
You
if I like 3 pictures, she come back like 2. Nah, I'm gonna DM her like, you like what you see?
Yeah.
Then that's how we start.
For sure.
That's how I just go like that.
But it's like as far as leading the DM, if whoever a predator is not going to let you lead the conversation. You may have the initial, hey, how you doing? He may go into that one conversation and start asking you about yourself. And therefore the conversation starts to switch. I mean, that's,
I think it's okay to start the conversation, show interest, but it's on to him. Like, it's up to him to ask you out, like, to actually move forward with it. Like, if y'all just talking in the DM and he ain't asking for your number or nothing, then I'm leaving the conversation. And I'm probably going to send all my messages.
Oh, yeah. I don't ask for the number.
Unsend them? Jeez.
That is so bad.
This never happened.
I don't ask for the number.
Ever. So what's the next step?
That's rejection.
Because you don't want to be rejected.
Oh.
I could talk in the DM because DM going to come like a text message. So I'm comfortable with just talking to you through the DM.
Forever? I mean, how you...
Not forever. But once I get the number, I'm the type...
How do you get the number? That's the question. You said you wouldn't ask for the number.
They initiated like, well, are you going to text me? That's
so Dijon wants a forward woman. Because she had to initiate giving him the number.
Basically.
Did y'all hear that?
Like, I don't be on here a lot. Here go my number. Or people would ask me, when you going to ask for the number? Because I don't ask for numbers. So it's just like, you got to tell me right there.
I guess that's just, maybe it's a generational thing. I would actually talk to a woman. The DMs, I'm more kind of direct. I would actually say something to you because a lot can get misinterpreted in a text. I can't see your face in a text. You know what I mean? That can be misread. But, I mean, maybe that's just a difference. I mean, maybe I'm just different in that regard.
I'm actually with you. I mean, I will send a few. Here's my problem with DMing is.
Hold up,
that's kind of
Pass in the DMs? Pass the slide in the
DMs. Slide in DMs.
I don't slide in there, but I might end up.
That's kind of strange. Okay, so if I see you and you don't say anything to me, and then you send me a direct message, now I'm looking at you sideways. Because you didn't say anything to me when you saw me. So why are you scared?
People are starting to say that's like weird because
it's strange.
Yeah, if I was in another church and I see James and then see him, I DM him like, hey, I seen you at church, man, you did a good job, and you would be like, dang, why you ain't come up to me? Just be like a situation with like females be like, females be in the generation we is right now, they think like they getting wild.
I hear it from my daughters. They be like, Dad, this creep gonna inbox me. That's the initial reaction. It's like, it's just kind of weird, especially somebody that you've seen and they didn't say anything to you.
So to answer the question, is it okay for a woman to initiate without her being considered too forward or thirsty? That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not saying that she's trying to pursue you just because she initiated a conversation.
No, it pretty much a good question, but it pretty much all depends. Like, a real guy will know. You'll know.
If a woman is initiating a conversation, I'm sorry to cut you off.
You good.
She's interested. Like, she's not here to play. She don't want to just talk to you. She don't want to be a friend.
She's going to
She's letting you know she's interested. If she's initiating a conversation, and it's the first time y'all ever spoke.
Okay. So I just want to say this, but we got to move on. I personally, I don't mind an initiation, a slight initiation.
Absolutely.
Right? Let me do the work. I like to do the work. But I miss, and it may be generational, but I miss women who would let you know they were interested by, they could walk by you and you could tell by how they looked at you. And it wasn't too thirsty. It was just enough for you to know she just checked me out. Now I got to go talk to her. I miss that kind of thing as opposed to like, I guess if you like 5 and 10 pictures, first of all, I just realized that was a thing. Over the last year, seriously, I was just like, I didn't think nothing of it because I get likes all the time, so it didn't mean nothing to me.
All right now.
Too much. So I didn't know that it was a message that if I get some likes, I'll wake up in the morning and somebody has liked 10 pictures. I didn't know what that was. I don't want her though. That's too much. But I'm just saying, I didn't know that was a thing. It really is generational that people will start by liking pictures. I've never tried to get a woman's attention by liking 3 pictures. I've never done it.
But if we're in public, that's different. I think just the generation we're in online, like we're always on social media, but there are different rules. These are just added rules. These are new rules because when we're in public, those same rules apply. If I look at you a certain way and if I'm giving you like an okay with my body language that it's okay to approach me and you don't, then I don't know. But those rules still apply.
Dating, are y'all okay? I would consider what y'all just did, all this DMing and stuff.
Instagram is
I consider that online dating. So are you guys now okay with online dating? Y'all good with it?
I'm okay with Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram.
I ain't going on no Tinder.
You're on Tinder.
No, I was on Hinge, and that's where I met my ex.
How'd that go?
My ex.
Right.
You see how that turned out.
Got it.
So.
I'm more open to it only because one of my closest friends met her boyfriend on Hinge, and they are happy, planning to get married, like happily ever after. So I'm like,
I have never heard of Hinge before.
It's just more serious one. Like if you are like Tinder is for unholiness.
Tinder is for unholiness. Okay, what about Bumble?
Huh?
What about Bumble?
I don't know too many people that use Bumble for dating. I know that there's like a Bumble to find friends. Like if you just move to a new state and you want to look for friends, like there's a separate Bumble app for that. I know people who use that. I don't really know people who met through Bumble.
No, I ain't with the online dating.
Instagram and Twitter.
It's just Instagram. I mean, a DM is just a DM. If I initiate a DM, if I send you a DM, it's because I want to meet you and go out somewhere. That's literally that's where it's gonna stay. I'm not going on an online dating trying to find.
So you don't
a chick.
have any profiles on?
No, not now. What?
All right, here's the next question. We got to keep going. I'm going to present this scenario. Or here's the question. Is $65,000 enough for a woman to submit to a man and become a stay-at-home wife?
No.
You got to give me more than just no.
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm not going to struggle. Like, I'm not going to go backwards and struggle just to stay at home and be a stay-at-home wife. Like, that would be, like, $65,000, like, I can do that on my own. Like, so $65,000 taking care of myself, a husband, and however many kids, like, that's not going to work.
Let's just say it's one child.
No,
you can't take care of one person.
One person.
Yourself.
That's a lot.
Let's just run down the daily bills. Rent or mortgage. Okay, car note, insurance. Let's talk about all the utilities that came with that. I just jumped right to the car. But all of the utilities that come with that, like, what do you have left? Are you even eating with that? I'm not even trying to be funny. That wasn't even trying to be shady.
You could.
But, like,
people have done
enough,
65K, y'all.
enough to feed a family, a stay-at-home mother, and a child.
No, number one, I don't want to stay at home anyway, period.
So $65,000 is all her money, correct? Or it's all of it?
No, that's
for the house.
So the guy is, that's for the house. So the guy makes 65, and the woman can stay at home and take care of the home.
No. I thought you was talking about I pay all the bills, and I get her $65K at the end. At the beginning of the year, and I pay all the bills.
You don't make that kind of money.
I never.
Gosh, come on.
I was there. That's why I was like, oh yeah, that's $65K.
I wouldn't even ask her. I wouldn't even ask her to stay at home with that type of money. I wouldn't. And the only reason I'm saying that is simply due to the fact that 65, it's not even going. It's not gonna sustain us because there comes into, you got, like you said, rent, all that stuff, but then you have emergencies that happen. You have so many things that literally can literally mess up your financial situation. So 65 is not enough at all. So I wouldn't necessarily ask her to stay at home for that.
$200K to stay home.
What about
let's be clear.
Ideally,
Nah,
no,
that's our hood.
but it's doable. It's a lot of variables, right? What is the mortgage payment? Is the car paid off? If you have children, what stage of life are you in? Are you in your 20s? Are you in your 30s? Are you in your 40s?
Come on, OG.
So 65,000. If you 22, yeah, y'all can rock with that, depending on what your mortgage is. I mean, that's such a vague.
Inflation.
I agree with
crazy.
you.
No, I'm not trying to.
And it depends on the people.
And the people and the lifestyle that you were used to.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing.
The lifestyle.
So we have two bougie ladies up here today. They just accepted it too. Like,
I mean,
from my perspective, is that with like what I do, my career, all that, I can easily make six figures. And so that means I'm giving up a six-figure income to stay home. Therefore, that six-figure income needs to be made up somewhere to make up for the income that I would be giving up to stay home.
so the only question, I guess, follow-up question that I have to that, just so that we are careful with what we're saying, do you really put a price on submitting to your husband?
I don't quite know how to answer that.
Listen,
but
I'm
what
not
I was
getting
going to say to that whole post, though, like a part of it is like to submit to your husband. If that's your husband, you have already agreed to submit to him. That means you trust him in some form to lead the household and make wise decisions with finances. So if you are that woman that is willing to stay home for $65K, then you trust that he will take care of everything, then go ahead.
But you got people out here who, if the husband make 200K, like the wife still wants to like be submissive because they just been working all their life or
very independent.
But how do we define submission? That's the next thing. How I want to hear from you all before I say anything. How do you define submission?
I think it comes with trust, because the wife has to trust you to take over like the bills and like to be there for without her bringing in an income. Are you able to let's go on a trip and we can still pay the bills on time? Or I think it just all comes with just trust at the end of the day. Because as soon as your wife trusts you, it's like, okay, he got it. He in the front row.
So that's a prerequisite for submission, and I agree with you. But how do you define submission?
I think it's just honestly just letting a woman letting her man be a man. And what I mean by that is what we have on the inside of us as men. We're natural providers, we're protectors, we're fixers, and let's be real, and I said I was gonna get in trouble, but the society we live in today, women are not like that. To hear the word submissive, it makes them cringe. Cringe hard. They try to avoid it at all costs because to them, submissive says, I'm giving up my life just so I can be up under you all the time, which really that's not real submission.
I think we have to look at circumstances. Really, we have to really take into account where a lot of people come from. And we have to really look at like a lot of things that happened to the black family and how it was dismantled and how a lot of people grew up in single family households and they saw their mom being independent. So that's all they know. They didn't have to see their mom be submissive, like, because they were by themselves. So that's all they know. And I think that we have to really look at the ratio of that.
Not to be insensitive about that though. It's almost like you're saying that if a child grows up and see nothing but crackheads around them, that's all they know, so they're going to do that. Here's the thing. You can change the dynamic of what you saw, but it's going to require you going into a place to saying that you actually want that kind of change. Like I said, we believe, and we believe more so in culture instead of the way God set things up. So in the beginning of time, we were all in the even space. But when sin entered the picture, there was a dynamic, there was a change. So it went from God to man, then to woman. Nowadays, because sin entered the picture, men and women sin. We both sin. We both ate of the fruit. Women just don't like a cut of what of what was given out. For men, we had to work for every single thing that we had. With women, basically God told them, listen, you're going to have to be in pain while you're in birth, but also everything that you want, you got to get through to him. So literally, that's how it has to go. But women these days do not want that.
So who's supposed to teach them that? Like, if they grew up not seeing that at all, how are they supposed to find out that this is what a woman's supposed to do? They're supposed to submit. Who's going to teach them that? Who's going to...
What was the question again?
The question was, what I asked y'all to do was define submission.
So I look at it as a coach. So you have like, say, Phil Jackson, right? Coached the Chicago Bulls. Almost all of his players made more than him. But they trusted his leadership, that he would put them in the best position to win. Submission to me is, I trust your leadership. So ultimately, I can do this, but I'm going to trust your game plan. Not that I can't do it, but I'm going to follow you. If this is what we're doing, if this is the roadmap, then I'm going to submit, and I'm going to follow you. Biblically, if I don't trust you, I trust God. That God is my life, so I'm trusting God.
Yeah, I was basically going to say that. Like, it's not just trusting your leadership, it's trusting that you're consulting God before you make these decisions, too. Like, trusting that you are being led by God to lead me.
I think we also have to, and I think both of you kind of hit on it, realize that there are so many, first of all, submission is not just for the woman.
Right.
All right? Biblically, submission is not just for the woman. But secondly, we have to understand that because of the trust factor, and many of us have seen things from our past, it's hard for us to submit in whatever capacity. And so until you get to understand a woman and a man, they're not going to submit to you and they don't understand the plan. What plan am I submitting to? Right? If I'm going to submit, if a woman is going to submit and not work, something that's important to most women is I want to feel like I'm taken care of. I want to be protected. If I don't feel like you're willing to protect me and to take care of me, I'm going to keep working so I can make sure I have something in the bank in case this don't work out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's one instance, but we have to understand that in order to submit, Dijon said it first, and all of you backed it up, that is, there has to be trust. And many relationships today are started, and trust is not a priority. You know, a fun time, a fun trip, can you take me, you know, on a cruise or out of the country or do all of this? All of these things are priorities because you want to feel like a big shot, for somebody to cash you out, do all of these things, right? But you can do all of that and still not be someone worth my trust. I can spend money on you and entertain you for a weekend and still go home and not trust you and never call you again. Right?
Yeah.
So how do we get to that place where we have intentional, purposeful conversations that will lead us to trusting whoever it is that we want to be with?
You got to get past the stuff.
Man,
right?
Wow.
Men look at women. A woman says, all he wants from me is my body. Well, is that all you showed up to the table with? The man says, she's with me because of what I drive. Well, is that all you brought to the table was stuff? So I don't even know who you are. I just know what you have. So I don't really trust you. I just trust what you got. So is it me? You know, would you want the fish or the loaves, or do you want me? So people get caught up in the stuff first. You don't even realize if there's substance in the person, right? Because everybody want to flex for the gram or, you know, whatever they say nowadays, because they so anxious to post their life rather than live their life.
Speak about it, sir.
So I think you got to get past the stuff and look to the person, both men and women. And I think communication is key. We're really not clear on what it is that we want, what it is we expect, because we tend to live our lives in this cookie cutter mode. Well, they did it that way, so that's how I got to do it.
Sir, talk about
well,
it.
they doing it that way, so that's how, no, that may not even work for you. Plus, ain't nobody posting their losses.
I say it all the time.
Very
Social
true.
media has messed up everything in the world. It hit the ground like crack in the 80s. It just messed up everything. Either people have this, like he said it, literally, people have this whole thing, well, I see them doing that, I can do that too, but not understanding that it took them 10 years to get there. You know, where they have this great relationship, they're posting the highlights, and you're literally trying to compare your actual relationship to something that's highlighted. They're in this place now, but not knowing 5 years ago they were getting ready to get divorced. So, like, social media, I literally think that the whole world, especially people who are married or in relationships, should go on at least a fast for a year.
Sidebar, if you're dating, don't post it on social media. Just date. You ain't got to prove nothing. Because that's what, no.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Everybody wants to prove what they're doing. But the people that are actually doing it are just doing it.
Now, there are people, men and women, who feel uncomfortable if we're in a committed relationship. Why can't you post about it?
Because they insecure.
But I need to hear from everyone else. Do you need to? I want to start with Shamari, and then I want to go to Dijon, actually.
No, I actually agree with that. I think the people who post the relationship on social media, who always say, like, I'm good, we're perfect, and he did this and he did that, this is my opinion, that they probably have a not so good relationship behind closed doors. They're trying to prove something to the public, trying to prove something to themselves or their partner, that they have this great relationship. Because my thing is, I'm always like, why do we care? If you're happy,
exactly.
What are you trying to prove to us that he did this and he did that and she did that and she did this and?
But don't you post your happy moments in any other area when you get a new job or
right, so
graduate?
So anniversaries, birthdays, a special moment, but just randomly on a Tuesday, this whole long love story, that's weird. And
So-
people who only post their relationships.
That's like getting married with no audience. You know what I'm saying? Like getting married with no wedding, or it's like I don't like just because you post something don't mean like I won't. Because if I post something like if I posted some flowers that I just brought a lady, I just posted the flowers. I ain't gotta say who it's to, where it's going. It's just hey y'all, I just got some flowers or I do it because like I show people tell me like, hey man, where can I take my girl to go on a date? Like I'm a very romantic person, so if I post something, I'm letting the guys know like, hey yeah, step it up, man. I just did this, just did a helicopter, like this. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it don't really be like that, but it's some people who don't like being posted. Like when I met the person I'm dating, she said.
You said was at first.
I said. So when I met her, she told me.
Hold on, is it was or is?
Is.
Okay.
She gonna be asking him to post them later.
When I met her, she told me, like, oh, I'm not gonna post you on Instagram, so I don't want you to feel no type of way. I understood that because she don't post on Instagram. She only posts like 3-4 times a year. So I'm not no insecure person. Like you gotta post me and let them guys know that me and you kicking. But me on the other hand, I might post you if we out the country or something.
But if your significant other, you have an anniversary and they posted nothing, do you feel some kind of way?
Nah.
No.
No for everybody up here?
I used to be upset about that. I would think like, yo, like why you ain't like you? I did all that for you. You can't post. But the truth of the matter is, like you said, it comes to an insecure place in you. Why do you need validation?
Yeah.
If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing for the person that you're with, that should all that matter then. It shouldn't be trying to be like, I'm trying to show everybody I'm out here doing this and this and that, trying to get validation and kudos.
Kiara disagrees with you.
I guess I'm the only one. I mean, like special occasions. I mean, that's a thing for me. Tell everybody you love me.
Yeah, that's a
Everybody,
given.
I want everybody to know I'm yours, and I want everybody to see it on it. Like if it's the anniversary, you better let them know that we still together and get out his DMs.
So is that what it's about? The public
You're
affirmation?
not single.
But
That's what it's
So
about.
Is that
Like she
not
said.
insecurity?
No. Because I only do it on special occasions. I don't need everybody in my business. I don't post every day, but
Yeah, like I don't have to post you like every.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
push it.
gonna.
I
But
mean,
I'm gonna
special
tell you happy
occasions is cool,
birthday.
though.
I'm gonna tell you.
The days you do have to post, Valentine's Day, that birthday, and that Christmas. That's all.
Wish y'all with the matching PJs on.
Everybody posting that day. That's
so
like
what's the difference?
Judgment
This
Day.
is a question that we've gotten. What is the difference between validation and affirmation?
I would affirm the person that I'm with. I don't have to post a picture on the internet to affirm them. That's a private moment. That's between me and that individual. So if you need social media to affirm the person that you're with, that speaks to probably a bigger issue that you guys have. Because it's not about the people. People don't know what they see anyway. Because I can show you something, you still don't know what you're looking at.
I think it's generational, and I think it's I don't even want to say generational now because I think so. I'll speak to that. I had some concerns, you know, since I've been dating. People want to be posted, maybe not every day, not this, not that. I don't. So I'm just going to say it. I won't be posting anyone until I propose, okay? But I had to have some serious conversations, you know, in those serious relationships because we live in an era where you could be treating me one way in private and then in public it looks like you don't know me. Even though, which I don't know why we look at social media as public. Though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I can take you on a date in public, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not documenting on social media. The question is, and y'all can help me with that, why does it have to be documented on social media?
Like you said, I think it's generational because, like, even if it's my friends, like, I'm posting them on their birthdays. They post me out, like, when it's my birthday. Like, it's a thing. It's, like, a thing to show people that you appreciate this particular person. It doesn't even just have to be relationships. Like it's friendships too. That I think it's like just a generational like culture thing when you come up in social media. This is what you do on people's birthdays, or this is what you do when it's your anniversary.
So if you
like
date a public figure, and he says, "I am not gonna post you until we decide to get married."
Oh, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not posting anybody until even if I get married, it's probably gonna be the picture from behind.
Oh, see, I misunderstood because I thought you were saying you better post me for
on anniversaries and stuff like that. Tell me, but I'm just saying on my page. I'm just saying, and I'm probably not gonna
before
tag
you get married. Right now, you want somebody to post you on the anniversary, correct?
Before we get married?
Before marriage. I'm talking about just
I'm
dating.
not talking about before engagement.
You're talking about
like
after.
anniversaries. Oh, I thought we were talking about marriage.
No, I'm talking about just dating.
Oh, we talking about regular, like, oh, we've been together 2 years. Oh, no.
Okay. All right, but let's get back to that question. The difference between validation and affirmation.
I think validation is when you want the affirmations, but from other people, from the public. You want everyone else to say, "Oh, look at them! They're so cute. Their couple goals, relationship goals, all that."
People that don't matter.
People that at the end of the day don't matter. Where affirming or affirmations between you and your partner.
Okay. So I did not do introductions. We just jumped straight in. I need to do that, but what I want you to do is to give your name. You can tell us what you do for a living, and your love language. So I'll give everyone the love languages because that's the next phase of this conversation. All right? The love languages: gifts, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and physical touch. Y'all knew that one.
I have like I need physical touch, though.
Right. Okay, so that's where we're starting at. We'll go all the way around. Name, what you do for a living, and your love language.
Mile stamps. I drive a truck. My love language primarily would be words of affirmation, probably touch.
My name is Kiara. I am the Regional Promotions Director at Republic Records. My number one is quality time, and my second primary is physical touch.
I'm Sid. I do maintenance. I'm also a singer / motivational speaker. My love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch.
My name is Shamari, lawyer, but I also work in corporate America. And physical touch, a holy physical touch is my love language.
A holy physical touch.
And words of affirmation.
My name is Dijon, a.k.a. Detroit Legend, on Instagram, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I am the CEO of Legends Rolling Hookah, and I'm a party promoter and a host. My love language is physical touch, and I like another love language I like is I like trying new restaurants.
But like food can be a love language.
Food is not a love
language.
It's not a love language. It's not.
I think it really should be. I think it should be.
That food.
Greedy people.
So you just brought up something. So if you have your own food and you're in a relationship, do you still need to eat off that man's plate?
Oh my God.
Well, I've never ever done that, and it could be the only child in me because I don't want you touching my plate. Like I don't play about
Respect.
my food and my. I have learned how to share everything else in life, but my food. So I'm not even gonna do that to the other person because I don't want you doing that to me.
Type that I'll say I'm not hungry and not order anything, but then I'll eat all of your food. I'm bad about that.
Why though? Can you explain it to me?
Because I don't know I'm hungry until I actually see like your food looks better.
Swear to God.
And so I don't know. Yeah.
Sometimes to fight that, I mean, to like get over that, like you order the same, I order the same thing she just ordered. So now we got two of the same things.
Still won't work, bro.
No. So usually
Still
if I go out to
won't
eat like with the guy, it's like, okay, let's get like a few appetizers, let's get like a few things, and we all like eat, like we all
Right.
try everything.
I agree with that.
Why y'all trying to cover it up like y'all still won't? If we order the same thing, y'all still go eat
still-
off our plate.
I
Still
don't unless
chicken
it's
is
like
better
a
than mine.
shared
Right.
plates type of place. Like that's
First
when it's
fry
like, let's
hard.
get this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and then we just gonna share all of this. Other than that, though, I'm not reaching over to touch your plate, and don't touch mine because I will grab your hand.
All right, I got some rapid questions. Can you be friends with the opposite sex and stay platonic?
Yes.
Yes.
No. No.
Explain it.
I guess it all depends on the person, man. Like I've never been able to do that. I don't.
So you have no female friends?
Listen,
You got some entanglements.
no entanglements. Listen, nothing like that. But what I'm saying is I know, I know you have to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in a position where you're mature enough to have a platonic relationship with the opposite sex, you don't need to be doing it. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know, I have a few.
So if you're dating someone, do you want them to follow the same guidelines, or even if they're mature enough to have friends of the opposite sex?
Like you said, I would have to trust that. I would have to sincerely trust that. That's in my opinion. I would have to sincerely.
So you're working on that. That's what it
I'm
sounds
working on
like.
it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm working on it.
Everyone else said yes. What did
Yes.
you say? You looked a little. You sure?
Dijon.
Okay. All right. Can you remain friends with an ex if you're
Some
in a
of 'em.
relationship?
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yes.
Yes.
No. That is something I don't do. It's no, absolutely not. If you're an ex, it's just too much that's been crossed already. It's just too much. And at some point, because of who I am, I know I'm going to think about what we had and probably going to want to rekindle that. And so my best thing for me is just to be like, listen, we tried, you know what I'm saying? We had a good time, we did what we did, but you got to go.
But everyone else said yes. You can remain. Okay. All right. How much of your relationship concerns are you willing to share with your family?
0.
Tell me why.
Because once they get in it, it's hard to get them out of it.
Negative 100.
So none.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm not telling them nothing else.
Nothing else.
I made that mistake.
With my mom, nothing. With my sister, maybe a little bit just because that's my sister. But like parents, so, no.
Well, okay. I tell my mom everything. Well, my mom is my best friend in the whole world. And sorry to my future husband. But I have learned how to like not share like everything because my mom is definitely one of those people like that will remember
later
that.
on, though?
Right. Yeah, she's still my mom, but no, that's my best friend. Like
I'm
I don't
saying,
know.
though, if your husband came to you like, yo, listen, I know you love your mother, but that's
Oh,
too
well,
much.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm like. It's some things that I've learned to reach, like not tell her everything. But more than likely, if you don't say, don't tell your mama. I
All right.
love her.
Next question. These are just kind of rapid fire. Do you want to know about your partner's past?
Some of it.
Like what?
Depends.
What about like
Like,
what are we talking about?
You want to know?
like what part of
You want to know
like,
all of
like,
it? Okay.
That's kind of vague.
It is vague,
You need
so-
to know some of it, of course.
yeah,
you need to
some of
know how they got to this point. What,
I'm
you know,
indifferent.
Now, if you're talking about bodies, is that
Body
is
count.
that what you're talking about?
No,
No.
No. 'Cause
no,
there's
unless
no,
it was some trauma
there's no
involved, but
right
no.
answer. There's no good answer to that question.
It's not.
For
But
men
I'm
or
saying
female.
though, at some point, if you out, say you out with your lady, man, and every dude that walk up, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, it's been a while. It's been a minute. They just keep coming up. You gonna have, I mean, at some
Wait,
point,
wait.
at some point,
What
you
does
gonna
that
be,
mean?
at some point, you gonna be like, hey,
That
hey,
doesn't
though,
mean
like,
that-
how you know them? Ah, yeah, we used to mess around with her, and she keeps saying that. I'm gonna want at that point. I'm gonna have to sit her down. Like, hey, oh, I need you to let me know, like, what's going on? What? how extensive is your body count? I'm gonna have to know at that point. Because I don't want to be the guy in town that.
This sounds real particular because that does not happen.
Listen, hold on. You said
And
we
even
being
if she
real,
did,
right?
no woman is
That's
going to
not
continuously
That's just not a
say
good
that.
answer to that question. It's not a good number. It's just not. It's just not a good. It's just. There's not a good number.
Right. Why does it
count
matter?
don't
Why does it matter?
Body count does not matter. Like to me, like it's just a body count. What I do with like is I ask 2 questions to every girl. First, do you got a crazy ex-boyfriend?
That's a good question.
Guys are crazy nowadays. Girls
Yes,
too.
very true
Be
about
toxic,
girls,
and
too.
I always ask who was the problem, you or him.
You know she gonna say him.
Yeah,
now.
sometimes I don't get the right answer though, but time will go by and you will see.
So a better question is, what is the state of your relationship now?
You talking about
any
with the
trauma in
Of
your
the
past
ex.
that I
Okay,
should be
gotcha.
aware of?
Say
And
that
are
again,
you-
Shamar.
So I would more so ask, is there any trauma in your past that I should be aware of, and what are you doing to heal or work through that trauma? Because I'm not going to be your therapist, but I just want to
Okay.
know if you have any triggers that I need
All
to be
right
aware of.
now.
We could
I'm
just
not
be like,
yet.
hey,
Don't-
y'all still
You
kick
are-
it?
I'm gonna say
Y'all
this,
still
you are-
talk? How often do y'all talk? Like
You
just
are
be
rarity.
Straight. Ask what you want to know, and don't assume that they understand what you're asking. So just be clear.
Are you? I want to ask you this. Shamar. Are you asking him what is his trauma for your benefit or for his?
So number one, so I don't tend to ask a lot of questions just because I don't know your triggers. I don't know. So I would prefer you volunteer that information to me or have it in a more
You ain't gonna get it.
conversational.
Men are not talkers. That's one of the issues. Women need to ask, and you need to be specific when you ask.
And then also
because we'll dance as long as the music is playing.
I mean I'm a lawyer, so I don't mind asking questions. That's not an issue. So I can ask a question, but I'll give you a chance to tell me. And if I still feel like you're dancing around the issue or you're not giving me what I need to know, I'll straight up and ask. But I don't want to. So one thing I don't like to be asked like a whole bunch of, to be bombarded with questions like, what is this? What did you do with this? What did you do with that? So I don't want to do the same to someone else.
I'm spilling the beans. Men love ambiguity. We ain't got to be specific. We ain't going to say nothing if you don't demand that we say nothing. You ever been in a situation where something happened and you said, well, I thought it was this. And he goes, well, nah, I thought because we was hanging out, everything was cool. I thought we was all right because there was never a demand. There was no specifics talked about. So sorry, fellas, women should be very specific and just be clear. If you want to know, ask, because he ain't going to tell you.
Well, I mean, I think it all depends on the man.
Hold on.
I think it all depends because I'm gonna tell. I'm open book, and that's the way I do things. I mean, if you want to know something, just ask me straight.
So you meet a girl, you tell her your body count?
Yeah.
You just say, hey, I've been with 37.
I'm not gonna.
37.
I'm not gonna. No, absolutely not.
So then you're not an open book.
No, I mean, you
By
can
nature.
but what I'm saying is, you don't have to just come out and say because nobody asked the question that doesn't make you an open book. What I'm saying is that when women ask men questions, in most cases they do it because they don't want to be hurt. So what I'm saying is, if a woman come and asks me, "Yo, I really want to know about you. What was going on with you?"
Got you.
Then I'll be like, "Okay, well, this is what's up. I'm not gonna hide anything. You're gonna know me. One thing you're gonna be able to say when you make a decision, whether you want to be with me or not, he was honest and he was open about who he was. That's one thing you're gonna be able to say.
And I will say, if I'm asking a man a question, 9 times out of 10, I already know the answer to the question. I just want confirmation of what I already know.
Don't do that.
That's a whole nother conversation.
So that's also, so if I straight up ask you a question, I just want confirmation of what I already know.
That's another book. Another question that said, but why?
Let me get in here. If you already know, why do you need confirmation from something that you already know? So the truth is, you don't know whether you can trust him. Right?
I think the other truth is that you made an assumption about it because you don't necessarily know unless you ask that person. Like you don't know. You saying you already know the answer. In most cases, you've been through something that somewhat looks like the same thing, and so you're like,
So
I've already made an
Shamari's
assumption.
saying,
But sometimes you're asking to see what his perspective is. You may have like heard the story, heard something, and you want to hear it from him. Well, let me hear from his perspective. Let me see what his perspective is on what situation.
Or not
took
even that.
place.
And also, guys tend to tell on themselves. Also,
Very
so
true.
like,
Don't speak
I can
for us.
put
Don't
two.
speak for us.
So, I mean, I can put 2 and 2 together, and then I'm just asking you from the 2 and 2 that I already put
But
together.
good luck to your husband because you're a lawyer. So like,
Like a
she
mug.
gonna look all right.
Oh,
So what you're saying is you'll look in his phone, see that he cheated,
Whoa,
and then
who's
ask
looking
him if he
through
cheated.
phones?
I'm looking phones. No. But I'm saying guys will tell on themselves, and also I'm just good at putting 2 and 2 together. Like, and just not just with guys, but I'm just with anything. I'm good at figuring things out. It's literally what I do for a living. Is figure things out.
In other words, men are stupid.
So
don't lie to
like,
her.
Don't lie. Don't
So,
lie. And if
like-
you're gonna lie, remember the lie that you told. Because my ex he told me 3 of the same story. Each time it was something new in it. And it was like, okay,
So did he lie or omit?
omit, which was still basically like, because when I told him, I was like, oh, but I thought you said like this
They
happened
do
too.
that
He was like,
for
oh,
real.
I told you that. Like, oh, so you forgot that you even told me that part of what happened.
All right, I got to
So
keep
you
going.
telling on yourself.
We talked about your partner's past. You're saying you do want to know if there are triggers. You don't want to know things like a body count. Everybody agreed? Was that a consensus? No one wants to know that.
Well,
I don't think
sometimes
it's
you don't know a
important.
trigger until it's triggered.
Well, that's true too. But you guys do want to know about their background and different things like that.
but I will make it clear I'm not your therapist.
Are
So
you
what are
coming
you
here
doing
with
to seek help, or what have you done to seek help from what you have? Because I'm not trained as a therapist. I can't help you as a therapist. Like, I could listen to you
To an extent.
To an extent, yeah.
Like, to an extent. Like, are you coming to me healed from your past? Like, are you healing? What is your journey looking like? Because I'm doing the work on my end to make sure that I'm not bringing extra baggage into this relationship. So, like, yes, like, there are some, like what you said, like, some triggers that you're not aware of until said person. But, like, are we healed enough to talk about it and have a real conversation about it?
So he doesn't need to be 100% healed.
I don't think anybody is 100%
I agree.
healed.
That was
I
my
just
point
needed y'all to
trying
say
make.
it because people
Yeah,
say
no.
that, but it's.
I
the
think
truth
healing is a constant process. You're going to be healing for
The rest of your life,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But you need to be healed enough.
Or
Yeah.
be in a
Enough.
place where you are trying to be a healed
I
individual.
would say, like, be completely single. Like, be complete in your singleness. If you're dating, tired of being by yourself, that's like going to the grocery store when you're hungry.
See, here's what I think we don't talk about, though, and that is, I agree. So we say, don't date again until you are healed. We also said, you'll never be completely healed. So the truth is, many people are pursuing healing, and they want to entertain some company. At what point am I okay enough to entertain some company, even if I'm not ready for a relationship yet? And am I wrong for entertaining company, even though I'm not ready for a serious, committed relationship?
I think that honestly comes with you being honest with yourself about where you are. A lot of people, we don't want to be honest about where we're at because it makes it seem as like, well, I'm not going to be able to have this or I'm not going to be able to enjoy that. But truthfully, that comes with the maturity beyond anything to be able to, like, okay, I know I'm still hurt. I know I'm still dealing with this, and I would be wrong to put myself in a position to hurt somebody else. So let me go ahead and be honest about where I'm at in my healing process, and let me make sure I'm in a place. But another thing is you got to listen to God because God knows when as well. Okay, so in this season you wasn't ready. This season you're not completely there yet, but you are ready to entertain company.
Everybody, when they lonely, act like they heard God say that they healed enough
For
to
sure.
be ready.
I was one of.
But I think, like you said, you got to be honest with yourself. When you speak to being healed, and I got to know that I'm hurt. And I got to acknowledge it. A lot of people act like the pain ain't there.
Talk about it.
And so they use company and companionship as a Band-Aid instead of dealing with what the actual problem is. There's nothing wrong with being alone, but if you're lonely, that's an issue.
And there is a difference between
Yes.
being alone and lonely.
So absolutely, everybody's working through their process and their healing. They're in a process of healing. But those that are actually healing actually know that they're hurt. And everybody brings baggage to the table.
Yes, sir.
Everybody. But some people just act like that ain't the problem. So if they know that there are issues and they can point it out, hey, this was an issue for me, I'm getting better, then okay, I understand that. But the people that act like they're just, everything is all right, it's like, yeah, no, I would kind of probably shy away from that.
Everybody brings baggage to the
Everybody
table.
brings baggage to the table.
Is that a consensus? Does everybody agree with that?
For sure. Yeah.
So how do you gauge, I want to move on, but I really want to make sure we get this one. How do you gauge whether or not you are healed enough? I get that you have to be honest with yourself, but now that you're honest, how do you know? Like, what's the marker to say, okay, now I can go out again. Now I can pursue someone. Now I can date.
I ain't looking through life through broken lenses.
I'm gonna say, yeah, kind of same thing. I don't think there's like a certain moment, but you wake up one day and you're like, oh, okay, like the sun is brighter. Like I can kind of see brighter. Like I'm not, crying. I'm not looking through old text messages or pictures or things like that. You kind of feel like, okay, like life moves on. Like life goes on.
I think another sign is that the triggers that triggered you before, they don't necessarily bother you anymore.
Very last part of this. How do you define cheating? How do you define cheating? Because I have learned that so many people and so many couples have been in some tough places because they had two different definitions of cheating. So I thought it, prudent to just talk about it in this type of atmosphere.
So you're talking about like emotional cheating? Of course, there's physical cheating, fornication, adultery, what have you. But I've heard there's emotional cheating when you're sharing intimate details from somebody other than your significant other.
For sure.
Give me an example.
I'm telling you my secrets, pouring my heart out to you, but you're not the person that I'm with, or you're not my main person. You're a main person. Yeah. Yeah, because if you're a side chick, or if you're the person on the side, but if I'm sharing things with you that this person over here should only know, then that's what they call emotional cheating. But you don't just wake up and get there, right? Mm-hmm. It starts with conversations.
Kiara?
Emotional cheating is very much so a thing. Like, I'm trying to figure out. Because emotional cheating, like, it's hard for men to open up, especially black men. So, and I'm speaking from my perspective because I'm dating black men, but like it's hard for them to open up. So if they find somebody else that is not their wife, like, or their significant other, and they are pouring their heart out to this person, and they're telling, like, just really confiding in this person, and they don't feel like they can talk to you about these things, that is a problem. That is an issue.
I want to discuss that.
So,
1 second.
Okay.
And
I want to discuss it. So we talked about, and everybody except for Sydney agreed that you can have friendships of the opposite sex, right? But, so you've been my friend, we're just friends, and I pour out to you because you're a good friend. Now I'm cheating. Explain that to me. How am I cheating? It's not that, maybe one day I will tell you, but I'm still getting to know you, but I know her.
So it's the content, right?
Okay.
It's not that we're talking, it's what are we talking about?
I'm pouring out.
Yeah, I can pour out certain aspects of my life. Professionally, I ain't got to pour my, like, as far as romantic love, things like that. I wouldn't be talking to my best friend about that. I wouldn't. My best friend. That's why you can't do it. Guy about stuff like that. But men want to be heard. 9 times out of 10, if a man isn't talking to you, he feels like he can't talk to you because he feels like you're not hearing him.
Yes, sir.
Listening to him and hearing him are two different things.
But does trust take time? So if we're dating and I'm building trust with you, but it's not fully there yet, is it wrong that I have this friend who is completely platonic? I'm not I'm just asking questions, y'all. All right?
But that's not emotional cheating if we're not together.
Right.
Okay, I'm saying we're dating exclusively. Is that better?
No. Are we
So it's
together?
like I said, it's the content of the conversation.
What's together then? What
Are
exclusive is together, right?
No, because you can. Okay, now y'all know it's stages now. So
Okay, I need to
Wait a minute, hold on, because that confuses me as
it's
well.
talking, then you talk. Yeah, it's dating when you're like basically exclusively. Now we've agreed to only talk to each other.
Right.
And then there's together.
What? That's the same thing.
I thought it was the same.
Oh, come on, don't act like you didn't know these.
I'm
levels.
so serious. Listen, I'm going to be real with you. I'm from Atlanta. It's way different down over there.
I went to school in Atlanta.
Listen, let me tell you something. It's literally, you know, y'all talking, then y'all exclusively. That exclusive says we're together. Not we dating exclusive. Then there's dating. I'm like, what's
like what does
There has
exclusive
to
mean?
be a,
Then?
will you be my girlfriend?
Yes.
Then
It has a talk.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
has
has
to
to
be. Yeah.
Are we
Somebody
in
to
elementary
change the
school?
rule.
Will you be yes or no? Like,
right?
I mean,
Somebody
but
to
it's just
change the
even
rule.
conversation. Like, I
Maybe.
think that we should be
So
together.
if we made a decision that we're going to date exclusively, that's not me saying that I want you to be
For the
mine.
sake of the
No.
conversation,
So then what is
hold on.
exclusive?
What is exclusive?
Hold
then?
on, because we'll be here all night. For the sake of conversation, let's say
Stay together.
we're together. So let's.
But you see what I'm saying,
Let's
though?
get there.
Like, that is crazy.
So let's say
to
we're
me.
together exclusively. That way, that'll just.
You know what?
You just got to word it. 'cause
Together is good enough, okay?
So we're together, but we are still growing to trust each other and to know each other, right? But I have this friend who is a platonic friend, and I have some emotional stuff going on. I shared some of it with you, who I'm together with you. Okay? All right? But to this platonic friend who we've grown up together, we've known each other, I just completely pour out and just say everything that I was thinking, knowing that I won't be judged and it'll still be platonic, but it was just a conversation. Did I cheat? I need to know if I cheated.
No, it was like what he says, the content. Now, if you are confiding in a female friend about our situation and telling her all of our business and how you felt about what I did or whatever, that's emotionally cheating.
So what is a safe place for you to be able to say, this person who I'm in a relationship with, I love them, but she upset me, she hurt me, and I need to talk about it and process it so that I can communicate it to her properly.
Well, I guess you better talk to a guy friend.
Yeah, you talk to a
to the
friend.
guy.
That's
Don't
not
talk to
sex.
your female. Don't talk to any females about it. Maybe your sister, you
'Cause
know.
I'm
But
telling you,
that goes
that-
back to like. But that goes back
To
to not
family.
telling your family
Yeah.
things.
But
Don't
also,
involve
so
your family.
yeah.
But don't tell a female anything.
Yeah, because like I said, that even crosses a line too, because you never know what that female friend that you close to, you don't know what she feeling about you.
But also, my friendships with my guy friends change when I'm dating or in a relationship. Like, I may not, the things that I tell them when I'm just single, I may not tell them. I may tell the person that now that I'm dating or in a relationship with. So and they understand that too, because they usually hear from the beginning when I'm just meeting someone and talking to them to the relationship, so they know that what's going on. But yeah, my friendship with my guy friends changes based on like my relationship.
That's real.
And I think it's a really small fine line, because it's like, are you talking to this female friend to get advice on how to make our situation better? Like, do you trust her in that way? Or are you just confiding? Are you just telling her our business because you just need to get it out? Or are you trying to gain another woman's perspective because you probably don't understand where I was coming from in a situation?
It could be both. It could be a time.
No, that's
where
what I'm saying. It's a fine line. I don't know if that's quite emotional cheating.
But that's what I'm saying. So let's deal with both. So let's say the first one. I'm just venting because I need to vent and process it so that I can actually say it properly to who I'm with. Is that emotional
So
cheating?
I would pose you this question: would you want your significant other to be able to confide in another man?
Nope.
So this is good. So here's the thing, though. I think everybody, this is what I just believe, everybody needs somebody to confide in. Okay? And I also believe that there are certain conversations that in the past, being in a relationship, she'll vent to a female friend, and because the female friend does not understand a guy's perspective, she didn't get what she needed, right? She didn't understand. It's good to have another perspective of someone, of a guy, but a guy that you can trust, a guy that I can trust. So if we're together, I should know your male friends, and you should know my female friends.
Right.
And we should both be comfortable enough, you know what I'm saying? Of course, there are certain things that should not be shared. I get that. And those boundaries are, I believe every relationship, you have your own, you should make up your own boundaries, right?
They
So
gotta be
there
married.
are,
The other person she talking to, if that's her other friend, the friend got to be in a relationship or married. That's the only way you're gonna be able to share anything.
My
and
guy
I think
friends,
that's a trust issue.
my guy friends, they're quick to tell
See,
me
if I
I'm
can't
staying
trust you,
out
I
of
don't even
this.
want to be with you.
Yeah, my guy friends, they're quick to be like, oh, I'm staying out of this. Like,
Yeah, I mean, but that's like that takes a mature guy. That takes what I'm saying though. Like, it's not that it's a trust issue there. You never know what that person you're talking to is actually thinking. They can tell while they're listening to you, they can be that friend to your ear, but in their own personal time, they using that stuff as ammo to probably mess up your relationship. So I'm listen. You got to be in a place where, like you said, if I know him and he cool, if I know him and he cool, then that's fine. But for me to be comfortable, they got to be married or something.
So you'll never fully be comfortable because
so
it's
cheat.
her friend. It's not your friend.
Right.
Huh?
I would say married people can still cheat.
Okay.
They do cheat, actually. Some of them.
Yeah, but
Because you
to do
said
with
a
cheating.
particular thing, that doesn't mean that's what they're hearing.
Mm.
You could be telling them about a problem. They could be hearing he about to leave his wife. So
Okay.
those lines can really get blurred, and conversation breeds intimacy. It's impossible for you not to get closer to somebody and they're sharing their heart to you. It's impossible for two people to not become close. if
I agree
both
with
of you
that.
Guys are so that's going to blur the line of that friendship.
Does it have to blur the line?
It doesn't
We can
matter.
be close.
That's just.
How about
that's
just tell
life.
Jesus about your problems?
So it's funny. So I have friends who I'm close with both the husband and the wife, right? So
just stay out of that one.
I was trying to hold it together.
So-
All right. So I'm friends with both the husband and the wife. And the wife has been able to tell me things, and I never pushed up on her. The husband has been able to tell me things, and I didn't use it against him or her. It's possible. It just means that you need somebody that is mature and someone that you can trust. And both husband and wife, I believe, were able to say, okay, I trust, you can talk to him, right? I think it's a trust issue. And if you can't trust them, if you can't trust the guy, all right, so you're dating somebody, you can't trust the guy who she dealt with. Let's ask, can you not trust him because she won't let you be around him at all? Or is it just you don't trust him because even though he's a cool guy, you didn't grow up with him like she did? You know what I'm saying? So you'll never trust him quite like she does. So that means your only resort is to trust the person you're in a relationship with, that they won't share information with someone that they shouldn't be sharing information with. So now that's why I say it's trust.
Yeah, but most of the time, if it's like emotional cheating, it's more than likely a woman that the girlfriend or wife does not really know, does not know.
Okay.
Because
be
that goes
cheating.
back to what you said
Gotcha.
about, like, for it to be cheating. Because if this is a female friend, I know her, like, you introduced me, we all hang out and we cool, like, and I trust, you know, that's different. Like, most of the time, emotional cheating is somebody that I don't know. I've never heard of this person. You talking about this is your friend. Where did she come from? I've never heard of her.
Got you. Okay, I just wanted to get clear. Do you cheat emotionally? Okay. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. I have enjoyed this conversation. I thought it was great. And I want to make sure that those of you who are streaming, that you also have one more chance, if you were not here at the top of service, to bless the Lord in the area of your tithes and your offering. I'm asking every person, even those of us who are here, to make sure that this is our Bible class, and that we should sow into the ministry so that we can continue to do the work of the Lord. And maybe you are here today just for the conversation, but this is your opportunity to say, you know what, I'm ready to start a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. I want to make sure that you have that opportunity this evening. So just repeat after me. Lord, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for all of my sin. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe you died. I believe you rose. And I believe you live even today. Lord, I welcome you into my heart. Change me, transform me. From this day forth, I am saved. If you prayed that prayer, then we celebrate with you. You just begun the best season of your life because you are now saved and filled with the precious Holy Spirit of the Lord. That's coming next. And so we love you and we honor you for coming in and tuning in and being a part of this conversation today. We will see you on Sunday. Remember, Sunday afternoon, our 1:30 service. Sundays are for family. We want you to bring your entire family like you always do. We're going to take communion, and we're just going to have a great time in the Lord. Then after that, we're going to have a meal in between, and then we're going to Heart of Faith, Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor Karshan is the pastor, and this is his 4th pastoral anniversary, and we're going over there as a church family to celebrate with him. Our praise team will minister in song, and I'm honored to be the guest speaker. So we're going over there full force this Sunday, 5:30 p.m. All right? Love you, and we'll see you later.